Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Friday, July 15th, 2022. Today I'm going to recap yesterday's Major League Baseball, NBA Summer League, WNBA, and Major League Soccer games. Major League Soccer we didn't have yesterday. We'll just go over that weekend slate as well as the other three sports I just mentioned. We will look at the current leaderboard for the Open. Nascar will make picks for the races this weekend. My final Major League Baseball mock draft, news and notes, and best bet. We'll start with Major League Baseball. We'll go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to the games this weekend. Marlins over the Pirates 3-2 in 11 on a walk-off triple by Brian Anderson. Rockies over the Padres 8-5. Braves over the Nationals 5-4. Reds over the Yankees 7-6 and 10. Royals over the Blue Jays 3-1. Rays over the Red Sox 5-4. So best bet was another loser. Guardians over the Tigers 4-0 in a makeup game for May 21st. Dodgers over the Cardinals 4-0. White Sox over the Twins 12-2. Mets over the Cubs 8-0. Mariners over the Rangers 6-5. Astros over the Angels 3-2. And the Brewers over the Giants 3-2. Now we look ahead to today's games. At 2:20, you have the Mets and the Cubs. Taijuan Walker and Marcus Stroman. So Stroman against the Mets, so that's funny. The Cubs are plus 108. The Mets are minus 126. Over under 9. Minus 110 each way. The Mets minus 1.5 is plus 128. And the Cubs plus 1.5 is minus 154. For this game, I'm going to take I like the over a little bit. I think the Met offense is going to get into a groove. I can see the Cubs picking off Walker a little bit too. 6:30 of the Phils and the Marlins. Kyle Gibson and Sandy Alcantara. Marlins minus 176. Phillies plus 148. Over under 6.5. Overs minus 128. Unders plus 104. Phillies plus 1.5 is minus 160. Marlins minus 1.5 is plus 132. For this game, I'm going to go with... This is a hard one. A very hard one. I'm gonna say something very, very different. Over 6.5, Sandy Alcantara strikeouts, minus 118. That's the best bet that I could find on the board for that game. 7 o'clock, you have the Braves at the Nationals. Ian Anderson and Patrick Corbin. Braves minus 168. Nats plus 142. Over under 9.5. Overs minus 104. Unders minus 118. Braves minus 1.5 is minus 108. Nats plus 1.5 is minus 111. I'm going with the Nationals. Run line plus 1.5 at minus 111. 37.9 to win. So I'm going to take the plus 1.5 at minus 111. Red Sox, Yankees, Nathan Eovaldi and Jordan Montgomery. Yanks minus 168, Red Sox plus 142, over under 8.5. Overs minus 102, unders minus 120. Red Sox plus 1.5 is minus 137. Yankees minus 1.5 is plus 114. I like the over. Royals, Blue Jays, Zach Greinke and Alec Manoah. Blue Jays minus 360, Royals plus 290, over under 8.5. Overs minus 102, unders minus 120. Royals plus 1.5 is plus 146. Blue Jays minus 1.5 is minus 178. The Royals run line is super intriguing, but I don't know if I want to go there even, just from like a plus 146 standpoint. I'm going to go with the Royals' first half run line at plus 110. Plus 1.5 at plus 110, which is crazy. Orioles, Rays. Tyler Wells and Luis Patino. Orioles going for 11 in a row. Rays minus 126. Orioles plus 108. Over under 7.5. Overs minus 115. Unders minus 105. Orioles plus 1.5 is minus 200. Rays minus 1.5 is plus 164. The crazy thing is that these teams are only 4 games apart in the standings, which is absolutely wild. But I'm going with the Orioles at plus 108. I can't believe it. 49% to win. They're plus 108, taking Baltimore. Tigers, Guardians. Drew Hutchinson and Zach Plesac. Guardians minus 184. Tigers plus 154. Over under 8. Overs minus 118. Overs now minus 115. Unders minus 105. Tigers plus 1.5 is minus 142. Guardians minus 1.5 is plus 118. I'm going to go with the over. Mariners, Rangers. The Mariners going for 12 straight. Robbie Ray and Matt Bush. Mariners minus 164. Rangers plus 138. Over under 8. Overs minus 114. Unders minus 106. Mariners minus 1.5 is minus 102. Rangers plus 1.5 is minus 118. I hate to do this, but I'm taking the Rangers to win straight up plus 138. Matt Bush hasn't been that terrible. 46.5 according to ESPN Analytics, which is crazy, and they're plus 138. So from a value number, I'm taking the Rangers. White Sox, Twins. Michael Kopech and Devin Smeltzer. Twins minus 136. White Sox plus 116 over under 9. Overs minus 118. Unders minus 104. White Sox plus 1.5 is minus 162. Twins minus 1.5 is plus 134. I'm going with the under. A's, Astros. Cole Irvin and Jake Odorizzi. Astros minus 196. A's plus 164 over under 8. Overs minus 104. Unders minus 118. A's plus 1.5 is minus 128. Astros minus 1.5 is plus 106. I'm going with the over. Don't feel good about it, though. 8:15, Reds, Cardinals. Hunter Green and Andre Palante. Cardinals minus 162. Reds plus 136. Over under 8.5. Overs minus 122. Unders even money. Reds plus 1.5 is minus 146. Cardinals minus 1.5 is plus 122. For this game, I'm going to go with the under. 8:30, Apple TV Plus, Pirates, Rockies, Jose Quintana and German Marquez. Rockies minus 146, Pittsburgh plus 126, over under 10.5, overs minus 118, unders minus 104. Pirates plus 1.5 is minus 146, Rockies minus 1.5 is plus 122. I'm going with the under. 9:30, Dodgers, Angels, so the Battle of LA, Clayton Kershaw against Patrick Sandoval. Dodgers minus 196, Angels plus 164, over under 8, overs minus 102, unders minus 120. Dodgers minus 1.5 is minus 113, Angels plus 1.5 is minus 106. I'm going to go with I'm going to try a first half run line that's overpriced. Dodgers minus 0.5, minus 122. Apple TV Plus, Diamondbacks, Padres, Madison Bumgarner, and Yu Darvish. I feel like Madison Bumgarner hasn't pitched in a while. Padres minus 188, D-backs plus 155, over under 7.5, overs minus 102, unders minus 120. D-backs plus 1.5 is minus 134, Padres minus 1.5 is plus 112. So I wonder if he was hurt or whatever, but I'm going to go with the over. And last but not least, 10:15, the Brewers and the Giants, Brandon Woodruff and Alex Wood. Brewers minus 113 or minus 134, Giants plus 114, over under 7, overs minus 118, unders minus 104. Brewers minus 1.5 is plus 134, Giants plus 1.5 is minus 162. I'm going with San Francisco. They're 56.5 according to ESPN Analytics. So I'm going to go with the Giants plus 114 against the Brewers. All right, the weekend, Saturday, 2 o'clock, White Sox, Twins. Lance Lynn, Dylan Bundy, 2:15, Reds, Cardinals. Nick Lodolo and Miles Mikolas. Lodolo coming off the injury. Mets, Cubs, Max Scherzer, Drew Smyly. 3 o'clock, Royals, Blue Jays. Daniel Lynch, we know is going for the Blue Jays. Pirates, Rockies. Mitch Keller, Jose Arena. 4 o'clock, Braves, Nats. Max Fried, Paolo Espino. Mariners, Rangers. Logan Gilbert and Spencer Howard. Orioles, Rays. Dean Kremer, and we don't know who's going for Tampa. Tigers, Guardians. On Fox Sports 1, Michael Pineda and Cal Quantrill. A's, Astros. Jared Cohen and Justin Verlander. Phillies, Marlins. We don't know who's going for Philly, and Trevor Rogers is going for Miami. 7:15 on Fox, you have the Red Sox and the Yankees, Nick Pivetta and Jameson Taillon. And the Brewers and the Giants, Eric Lauer and Alex Cobb. So, 2 games on Fox. Red Sox, Yankees will be everywhere except for Milwaukee and San Francisco. D-backs, Padres, Tyler Gilbert and Sean Manaea. That's at 8:30. And at 10 o'clock, you have the Dodgers and the Angels, Julio Urias and Jose Suarez. Sunday, 12 o'clock on Peacock, Royals, Blue Jays. Chris Bubic and Jose Barrios. 1:30, Braves, Nats. Spencer Strider, we know is going for Washington. Red Sox, Yankees. Chris Sale and Garrett Cole, so that's a dream matchup. Orioles, Rays. Jordan Lyles and Corey Kluber. Tigers, Guardians. Bayo Brisky, Shane Bieber. Phillies, Marlins. Aaron Nola, Daniel Castano. 2 o'clock, White Sox, Twins. Dylan Cease, we know is going for Minnesota. Astros hosting the Athletics. We know is going for Oakland, and Jose Urquidy is going for Houston. 2:15, Reds, Cardinals. Graham Ashcraft, we know is going for the Cardinals. 2:20, Mets, Cubs. David Peterson and Adrian Sampson. 2:30, Mariners, Rangers. Chris Flex and Glenn Otto. Pirates, Rockies at 3. We know is going for Pittsburgh, and Austin Gomber is going for Colorado. Brewers, Giants at 4. Jason Alexander and Logan Webb. And last but not least, the Diamondbacks and the Padres. Merrill Kelly, Mike Clevenger. No Sunday Night Baseball this week because of the draft. Now I'll move on to the NBA Summer League. We'll go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to today and Saturday. We don't know the Sunday schedule yet because I think the little playoffs start on Sunday. Celtics over the Grizzlies, 108-91. Hawks over Spurs, 87-86. Cavs over the Pistons, 82-79. Bulls over the Hornets, 89-73. Knicks over the Magic, 102-89. Bucks over the Mavs, 189. Blazers over the Rockets, 85-77. The Nets over the Timberwolves, 102-83. All right, now today's games. 5 o'clock on ESPN2 from T&M. Clips, Jazz. The Clippers are favored by 3.5. Totals 168.5. I'm taking the over. Next up, the 76ers against the Nuggets, 6 o'clock from Cox. Philly favored by 2.5. Totals 170.5. Tough one, but I'm going to take Denver getting the 2.5. 7 o'clock on ESPN, you have the Thunder and the Warriors. So Chet against Kuminga and Moody from T&M. So that should be fun. Thunder favored by 1.5. Totals 174.5. I'm laying it with OKC. 8 o'clock ESPN3 from Cox. Kings Suns. Kings favored by 3.5. Totals 174.5. I'll lay the 3.5 with Sacramento. 9 o'clock on ESPN2 from T&M. Pacers Wizards. Pacers favored by 2.5. Totals 177.5. I'm going to lay the 2.5 with Indiana. 10 o'clock on ESPN3 from Cox. You have the Heat against the Raptors. The Raptors are favored by 1.5. Totals 170.5. I like the over. And last but not least, 11 o'clock, ESPN2 from T&M. You have the Lakers against the Pelicans. Pelicans favored by 2.5. Totals 171.5. I'll lay the 2.5 with the New Orleans Pelicans. Saturday's window. We don't have lines up for that yet. 3 o'clock ESPN3 from Cox. Hawks Cavs. 4 o'clock ESPNU from Thomas and Mack. Magic Pistons, 5 o'clock from Cox. Hornets Timberwolves, 6 o'clock on ESPN from Thomas and Mack. Grizzlies Spurs, 7 o'clock from Cox. 76ers Bulls, 8 o'clock on ESPN from Thomas and Mack. Nets Celtics, 9 o'clock on ESPN3 from Cox. Rockets Kings, 10 o'clock on ESPN from T&M. Lakers Mavs, and 11 o'clock on ESPN3 from Cox. You have the Heat against the Clippers. Again, we don't know Sunday's games yet, so we will talk about them on the Monday podcast. Now we'll do the WNBA. We will recap the games from yesterday and look ahead to the weekend. Aces over to Liberty, 108-74. Wings over to Lynx, 92-87. Mercury over to Mystics, 80-75. And the Sky over to Sparks, 80-68. 2 games tonight, 7 o'clock on CBS Sports Network. You have the Lynx and the Fever. The Lynx are favored by 3.5. Totals 165.5. I will go with the over. At 7:30 at the Sun and the Dream, the Sun are favored by 7.5. Totals 155.5. I'm going to take another over. We don't have the lines for the weekend's games, so we'll just talk about them. 8 o'clock on CBS Sports Network on Saturday, the Sky and the Wings. Sunday, 1 o'clock on ABC, you have a great matchup between the Aces and the Sun. 3 o'clock on Facebook, you have the Lynx at the Mystics. 6 o'clock on Prime Video, you have the Dream and the Mercury. And 6 o'clock on CBS Sports Network, you have the Fever and the Storm. All right, now move on to Major League Soccer, where the weekend slate is going to be a lot of fun. We did not have games the last 2 days, so now I'm just going to quickly make my MLS picks for the weekend. 7:30, you have Montreal hosting Toronto. Toronto's minus 155, Montreal plus 350, draw plus 290. I'm going to go with over 3.5 goals plus 136. Philadelphia, New England. Phillies minus 115, New England's plus 280, draw plus 250. That's a decent game. A very decent game. Philly's now first in the East, by the way, with the back-to-back wins. New England is 9th. I'm laying it minus 115 for Philly to go for 3 in a row. 8 o'clock, you have Chicago at Seattle. Seattle at Chicago. I read that wrong. I'm sorry. Chicago plus 110, Seattle plus 210, draw plus 240. Tough one, but I'm going to go with Seattle at plus 210. Miami hosting Charlotte. Miami plus 115, Charlotte plus 210, draw plus 230. I'm going to go with Charlotte plus 210. Minnesota against DC United. Minnesota minus 155, DC plus 330, draw 3-1. I'm going to go over 3.5 goals plus 152. 9 o'clock, you have Colorado hosting the Galaxy. Colorado even money, Galaxy plus 230, draw plus 250. I'm going to go with the LA Galaxy at plus 230. And last but not least, on Saturday, you have Dallas hosting Austin. Austin's been playing great. Dallas is minus 110, Austin plus 240, draw plus 260. This is a tough one, but I'm going to go with the draw at plus 260. Then we have a couple games on Sunday as well. 3 o'clock on ABC, you have Atlanta hosting Orlando. Atlanta minus 130, Orlando plus 280, draw plus 280. I'm going to go with the draw plus 280. The Battle of New York, 5 o'clock on ESPN. The Red Bulls are hosting NYCFC. Red Bulls plus 120, NYCFC plus 190, draw plus 240. I'm taking the draw. 7:30, I have Cincinnati at Columbus. Columbus minus 135, Cincy 3-1, draw plus 280. I'm going to go under 2.5 goals plus 118. 8:30, you have Nashville hosting LAFC. Nashville plus 125, LAFC plus 180, draw plus 240. I'm going to go with Nashville at home plus 125. 9:30 of Salt Lake hosting Kansas City. Salt Lake minus 135, KC plus 320, draw plus 260. I'm going over 3.5 goals plus 240. Very, very valuable play there. San Jose hosting Houston. San Jose minus 105, Houston plus 220, draw plus 270. I'm going to go with the draw plus 270. Last but not least, 10:30, you have Portland hosting Vancouver. Portland minus 165, Vancouver plus 360. And draw 3-1. I'm going to go with the draw at 3-1. Now I'm going to look at the current leaderboard at the Open. It's been an interesting tournament thus far, and tied at the top with a score of 8 under, Cameron Young, and my selection to win this tournament, Dustin Johnson. Tied for third with 7 under, Taylor Gooch, Scotty Scheffler, and Tyrell Hatton. Tied for sixth with 6 under, Rory McIlroy, Siwoo Kim, Patrick Cantlay, and Adam Scott. Tied for 10th with 5 under, Aaron Weiss and Cameron Smith. Tied for 12th with 4 under, Kurt Katayama, Abraham Ancer, Lee Westwood, Victor Hovland, Brad Kennedy, Tristan Lawrence, Jordan Spieth, Sam Burns, Yuto Kurtsugawa, Sahith Thiglia, tied for 22nd with 3 under, Ian Poulter, Barkley Brown, Minwoo Lee, Bryson DeChambeau, Joo Hyung Kim, Kyung-Hoo Lee, Xander Schauffele, Danny Willett, Scott Vincent, Sergio Garcia, Matt Fitzpatrick, John Parry, Harold Varner III, John Rahm, and Robert Dinwiddie. Tied for 37th with 2 under, Brandon Wu, Lucas Herbert, Dean Brewmester, Robert McIntyre, Ernie Els, Dylan Fratelli, Ryan Henley, Thomas Dietrich, Paul Casey, Joaquin Niemann, Luis Olson, Filippo Selli, Thomas Peters. Tied for 50th with 1 under, Cam Triangle, Grayson Higo, Saddam Kawajana, Corey Connors, Justin De Los Santos, Trey Mullinax, Hideki Matsuyama, Victor Perez, Matt Ford, Marcus Armitage, Adrian Murnock, Jordan Smith, Kita Nakajima, Jamie Rutherford, and David Carey. Tied for 65th at even, Webb Simpson, Phil Mickelson, Patrick Reed, Tommy Fleetwood, Zach Johnson, Colin Morikawa, Jason Kokrak, Justin Thomas, Shane Lowry, Christian Ziedenhout, Wyndham Clark, Sam Bairstow, Sungjae Im, Aaron Jarvis, Jason Shrievener, David Law, and Padraig Harrington. Notables time now. Tied for 82nd with 1 over, Seamus Power, Brooks Koepka, Brett Horschel, Brian Harman, JT Potts, Mackenzie Hughes, Will Zalatoris, Tony Finau, Keith Mitchell, Max Homa. Tied for 99th with 2 over, Taylor Hogue, Kevin Kisner, Sebastian Munoz. Tied for 116th with 3 over, Chris Kirk, Alexander Zhork, Mito Pereira. Tied for 125th with 4 over, Luke Liss, Aaron Ray, Emiliano Grillo, Harry English, Keegan Bradley. Tied for 137th with 5 over, nobody of note. Tied for 143rd with 6 over, Gary Woodwin, Stuart Singh, Kevin Na. Tied for 147th with 7 over, Mark Leishman. Tiger Woods, unfortunate for him. 152nd with 9 over, Sepp Straka. And that's really it. Among notables, hopefully we see Tiger bounce back, because that's a little unfortunate. All right, now I'll move on to NASCAR. We will go over what races are this weekend and make picks. So no truck this weekend. We won't see the trucks for another 8 days. Or I'm sorry, 7 days. Or is it 8? 8. I miscounted. So tomorrow 2:30 you have the Xfinity Series race from New Hampshire. I'm going to quickly pull up the odds on DraftKings. The race will be on USA TV. My pick to win the Crayon 200. I'm going to go with AJ Allmendinger at 10-1. I think that's good money for AJ. And now the Cup Series on Sunday at 3 o'clock on USA. The Foxwoods Resort Casino 301. The Ambetter 301 on USA. So this race, I can't believe Kyle Larson's 12-1. I don't think I've picked Kyle Larson all year because he's been in single-digit number to 1 odds. So getting him at 12-1 is really valuable. I'm going with Kyle Larson at 12-1 to win the Ambetter 301 from New Hampshire. All right, now I'm going to do my final Major League Baseball mock draft of the year. I know I only did 4 of them. So this is my 4th and final edition of the 2022 MLB Mock Draft. Number 1, the Baltimore Orioles. Drew Jones, outfielder, Wesleyan High School in Georgia. Jones is easily the best player in this draft class, and the Orioles would be happy to add them to their collection of young talent. Jones has the ability and upside to be an all-star caliber player in the big leagues, like his father Andrew was. Number 2, the Arizona Diamondbacks. Jackson Holliday, shortstop, Stillwater High School in Oklahoma. The Diamondbacks go with who is arguably the second best player in this draft in Holliday. He may not be a fast developer in the minors, but they'll likely get a start here with Holliday. Number 3, the Texas Rangers. Kevin Parada, catcher, Georgia Tech. I feel very strongly about college catchers and how they usually turn into great players, so I love this pick for the Rangers. Parada's defense is not as strong as the likes of Adley Rutschman or Buster Posey due to his fringy arm, which hurts his throwing accuracy. Number 4, the Pittsburgh Pirates. Tamar Johnson, second baseman, Mace High School, Georgia. Johnson getting picked here to Pittsburgh could be realistic. Johnson is the best pure hitter in this draft class, and the sole reason why he may drop is due to his suspect defense. Number 5, the Washington Nationals. Elijah Green, outfielder, IMG Academy in Florida. The Nationals are a team in this draft that simply has to go with the best player available. Green has a ton of upside, but questions about his hit tool can cause him to slip in this draft. 6, the Miami Marlins. Brooks Lee, shortstop, third baseman, Cal Poly. The Marlins take a fast-rising prospect here in Lee, who I could see being picked higher than this. Lee could have been the top overall pick due to his improvement the past few seasons in college. 7, the Chicago Cubs. Cam Collier, third baseman, Chipola, JUCO. The Cubs should absolutely go with the best player available here, and Collier would be a fine choice. Collier is one of the draft's more interesting and intriguing players, as he showed off in the Cape Cod League. Number 8, the Minnesota Twins. Jacob Barry, outfielder, third baseman, LSU. This match with the Twins and Barry feels very realistic. Barry's back to play anywhere, but the question is what position he'll end up at long term. 9, the Kansas City Royals. Justin Crawford, outfielder, Bishop Gorman High School, Nevada. The Royals are a wild card come time for the draft this weekend. Crawford is a fast-rising prospect, and scouts in the industry have been raving about his potential. 9, the Colorado Rockies. Gavin Cross, outfielder for Virginia Tech. The Rockies are a team I feel needs to go with the pitcher for their pick, but the position player talent at this point of the draft is more superior. Cross really showed out with Team USA last summer, and there's a chance Cross goes before this. Number 11, the New York Mets. Jet Williams, shortstop, Rockwall Heath High School in Texas. With their first of 2 first-rounders, I have the Mets taking the talented shortstop. Williams is a great prospect with speed and bat-to-ball skills, which may have him get drafted a little higher than this potentially. Number 12, the Detroit Tigers. Daniel Susac, catcher, Arizona. I love this possible pick for the Tigers if they get themselves a solid catching prospect. Susac has a better possibility of sticking behind the plate long-term than Kevin Parada, and also has an outstanding bat. 13, the Los Angeles Angels. Brandon Barrera, lefty, American Heritage High School in Florida. Taking Barrera this high would be a reach for the Angels, but it's an upside play. Barrera is more polished than most prep arms in this class with his 3 above-average pitches and has great mechanics. 14, the New York Mets. Jace Jung, second baseman, Texas Tech. Jung will gather a ton of draft night attention because of how successful his brother was in college. He hit the tear off the ball majority of this past season in college, and he can absolutely go in the top 10. 15, the San Diego Padres. Brock Porter, righty, Orchard Lake St. Mary's High School in Michigan. This would be a solid pick by the Padres as they add to their solid farm system. Porter has tremendous upside as a pitcher, and it would not be surprising if he went higher than this. 16, the Cleveland Guardians. Dylan Lesko, righty, Buford High School, Georgia. This would be a steal for the Guardians as Lesko falls to them at 16. Lesko is coming off Tommy John surgery, and he also has a Vanderbilt commitment, so there's no guarantee he'll actually sign. 17, the Philadelphia Phillies. Cade Horton, righty, Oklahoma. Taking Horton this high would be a reach for the Phillies, and you can make a case there are better pitchers still on the board here. Horton lacks a track record considering he had Tommy John surgery, but he really boosted his stock after the team's College World Series run. 18, the Cincinnati Reds. Zach Nato, shortstop, Campbell. This would be a nice pick for the Reds, who should be taking the best player available. Despite playing for a mid-major school, Nato really proved some doubters wrong with a strong showing for Team USA last summer. 19, the Oakland Athletics. Dylan Beavers, outfielder, California. The Athletics love taking college hitters, and here I have them taking another one in Beavers. He's a very tall outfielder and has a ton of power and a great hit tool, although there are flaws in his swing. 20, the Atlanta Braves. Gabriel Hughes, righty, Gonzaga. Hughes is one of the draft's fastest risers come Sunday. Hughes has 2 outstanding pitches with his slider and fastball, but he slumped down the stretch when his, in that stretch, his numbers did not look great. 21, the Seattle Mariners. Cooper Zerpe, lefty, Oregon State. The Mariners are a team that recently has been going with college pitchers, and here I have them going with a good one. Zerpe was one of the best in the Pac-12 this past season and could be a middle-of-the-rotation guy with a solid strikeout rate. 22, the St. Louis Cardinals. Chase DeLauder, outfielder, James Madison. This could potentially continue a great trend for the Cardinals of taking talented hitters in the first round of a draft. DeLauder has some raw power with him having a great year until a broken foot ended his great year. 23, the Toronto Blue Jays. Tucker Tobin, third baseman, Hammond High School in South Carolina. The Blue Jays always seem to be a wild card in the draft in terms of what they can do. Tobin is not super athletic, but could also slide at left field and has a strong arm as well as a solid bat. 24, the Boston Red Sox. Drew Gilbert, outfielder, Tennessee. This would be a very nice selection for the Red Sox, who can use some college hitters in their system. Gilbert is a safe bet to remain in center field long-term, and he really put it together offensively this past season in college. 25, the New York Yankees. Cole Young, shortstop, North Allegheny High School in Pennsylvania. The Yankees get themselves a steal here with Young, who could definitely go higher than this on draft night. He's a great defensive player and has an advanced hitting skill set. 26, the Chicago White Sox. Jordan Beck, outfielder, Tennessee. The White Sox have a super thin farm system, so they should go with the best player available. Beck has some raw power, but like most raw power hitters, has holes in his swing. 27, the Milwaukee Brewers. Jacob Melton, outfielder, Oregon State. The Brewers are a team that likes to take college players, and here I have them taking a fast-rising outfielder. Melton doesn't have the power like some of the other draft prospects, but he has a great contact rate. 28, the Houston Astros. Sterling Thompson, outfielder, second baseman, Florida. The Astros get a potential steal here with Thompson. He is one of the more accomplished hitters in this draft class and perhaps one of the safest bets as well. 29, the Tampa Bay Rays. Kumar Rocker, righty, Tri-City, Frontier League. After failing to sign with the Mets last summer, Rocker is back in the summer's draft. The Rays get themselves a steal here as Rocker, who has a ton to prove, and he goes to an organization notorious for developing pitching. And 30, the San Francisco Giants. Jackson Ferris, lefty, IMG Academy, Florida. The Giants get themselves someone who is fast-rising come Sunday and comes from a school that is notorious for getting pitchers drafted. Ferris is someone that has 3 above-average pitches and has great command. So there it was, the final MLB mock draft. And the final mock draft I will do in 2022, unless if I randomly do an NFL mock draft from 2023 at the end of the year. All right, news and notes for today. Some interesting ones to touch on here. So, Luis Severino to the injured list with a low-grade lat strain. Not great for the Yankees. Obviously, we'll see when he's back. Hopefully, he's back at some point in the summer. The Yankees acquired reacquired Tyler Wade after losing him to the Angels last year. So Tyler Wade back to the Yankees. And the Yankees are unlikely to pursue Royals outfielder Andrew Benintendi because he is unvaccinated. The Yankees want their full team for Toronto when they played the Blue Jays down the stretch and even in the playoffs. So understand why the Yankees are doing this, but Andrew Benintendi's a good player, so there's a possibility of them missing out. But I understand why they're going to pass. I think a lot of teams in the American League are going to pass on Benintendi now. There's actually a new favorite to win the American League MVP. It's Shohei Ohtani, who, as of yesterday afternoon, was plus 105, and Aaron Judge moves to plus 165. Yordan Alvarez to 10-1. And go figure, Judge homers last night after that happens. And the last entry of the Home Run Derby is Texas Rangers shortstop Corey Seager. So that is an interesting selection. And it's a good derby. You have Kyle Schwarber, you have Corey Seager, Pete Alonso, Albert Pujols. You got Julio Rodriguez, Juan Soto. So it's a good bunch of players. There's two more, and I can't think of. It was rumored to be Giancarlo Stanton. I predicted on the podcast it was going to be Giancarlo Stanton, but it's Corey Seager. So I guess Stanton declined, and he's going to get himself ready for the second half of the season. And electing to pass on the Home Run Derby, Shohei Ohtani, after he participated last year. So here's an interesting baseball story. Casey Close is suing radio host Doug Gottlieb for libel and alleging defamation regarding contract talks of Freddie Freeman. This is going to go on a while, I think. And this is obviously going to court. Bad break for the Astros as Jose Altuve exits the game after getting hit by a pitch to his left knee in the first inning against the Angels. So hopefully for the Astros' sake, he will be back for them because they need him, obviously. Because the Mariners are coming. I don't think they'll blow the division. It's like the Yankees in the American League East. They're not blowing the division, but you still want to win the games against your competition in the division. So some hockey stuff. The Devils agree to a 3-year entry-level contract with second overall pick Simone Nemec. Some basketball news. The Pacers gave DeAndre Ayton a 4-year, $133 million max offer sheet with the and it's the largest deal for a restricted free agent in NBA history. And it didn't take long for the Suns to match. So what a botched attempt by the Pacers, and the Suns get an asset back in Ayton, who they can trade in December if they wanted to. But we'll see. Everyone and their mother thought that DeAndre Ayton will be elsewhere, but no, he's back on the Phoenix Suns. This is something funny. Luka and Shaq had a moment in Croatia as DJ Diesel takes the stage and brought along Doncic for assistance. That was pretty cool. And it was viral around Twitter last night. Some baseball stuff. The Marlins call up top prospect Max Meyer and will start this weekend in Miami. So that is really, really exciting for the Marlins. So they have yet another young stud to go with Sandy Alcantara and Pablo Lopez. Some football news. Mitchell Schwartz retires as he announced his retirement from the NFL after 9 seasons. So congratulations, Mitchell Schwartz. 4-time All-Pro and Super Bowl champion. So great career. Justin Jefferson says, I'll be the best wide receiver, as he wants to be the top guy after this season. He has no chance. He's just in a crowded field. And non-sports news, which is very, very sad. Ivana Trump passes away at the age of 72. as the NYPD found her body in her apartment. Really sad news. Thoughts and prayers go out to the Trump family, and all her colleagues, and it's just very sad, and her friends. Ivana, this is a sad one. A lot of sad deaths this year, obviously, and yet another one here. All right, last but not least, my best bet of the day, brought to you by FanDuel. I'm going to lay a half unit on the there's one I liked. Where is it? And I'm just like, yes, I'm going with it. Where'd it go? I'm going under in the Pirates-Rockies game. I know I've been going under in the Rockies games a lot lately, but the Pirates just are not good offensively. So, I'm going to go with under 11 and minus 118 and pay you a little extra juice. And the under the Pirates-Rockies game for my best bet of the day. All right, so that's it for the show today. I'll be back on Monday recapping everything from the weekend. We'll predict the winner of the Home Run Derby. We're going to do some different activities on the show next week because baseball's in the All-Star break. We'll still cover the Home Run Derby, the All-Star game. We have the ESPYs next week. Maybe I'll do, like, Masked Singer Fame rankings updated after this past season. Maybe we'll do redrafts, trade value. There's stuff that I have in mind, but I haven't really figured it out yet. And obviously a draft recap show on Monday as well. And I still have to do the NHL draft recap show as well. Hope you guys have a great weekend, everyone.